Definitely a favorite of these two players, of course, playing with different junglers and mid laners at the time, that they did very much like it. Is stand behind Braum is going to come through. So an uninspiring bottom side of the map after DRX basically locked in, but I just don't see that as being the only threat to the Xayah, especially when he's going to get so considerably outranged. But let's see whether it works as we hop onto the Rift for game one. KT roster, 하나, 둘, 셋.
KT fighting!
DRX, 하나, 둘, 셋.
DRX fighting. Shy fan.
Yeah, KT wanting to get that level 2 hit pretty quick. They should be able to get there relatively soon.
Just a few more minions here, and respect is being shown by Teddy and Pleta right now. Pleta just offering back a little bit of Q damage, a little bit of poke. As Beryl and Deft walking forward here, there's the 2.
Yep, there's the hook. Gonna connect there onto Pleta, who takes a lot of damage, gets the heal out, in fact. Does KT, so already a lot of pressure being put on.
And you know what, I'm not used to casting games like this after what we had in
yeah,
3 games of the other one. I'm like, well, this is a little slow, isn't it?
The pace is not really up there like it was in our previous series. You're absolutely right. You can see that Frog has actually been able to take some control here towards the top side. I actually had to go and check the teleport to see what was happening as a bear comes down into the mid lane. And Yahoo is going to be battling with it. You really cannot underestimate Tibbers just being left on top of you and hitting you with his paws.
Yeah, this is kind of how this matchup goes, is you do press R and then all of your other buttons onto the Ahri.
And she loses one of them is the stun version.
Yeah, and she loses all of her health.
Yeah. As Frog might be just dead. Yes, Perfect is going to solo kill him. Missing a little bit of context here.
Solo kills his opposition. As no, looks like just an all-out incident here. Where
a classic all-out incident.
Yep, just pulls him away from the turret.
Yeah, it's beautifully played.
He is, since he's behind a farm. Here comes Sponge.
All right, Teddy and Pleta going somewhat aggressive. And you can see Deft and Beryl not really wanting to, I was about to say not wanting to all in, but in goes Beryl. There, of course, coming. As Pyosik gets a 3v3. DRX just going to back away, not wanting to bite off more than they can chew, and they are just going to accept the fact that Pyosik was there. Back off one item. Spike will be pretty powerful, as Yahoo's going to get snared up by Beryl. Aftershock is going to wear off, though, as Heartbreaker coming on in there as the bear goes down. Man, that is a feather recall. That was amazing from Teddy. Not able to get any kills just yet, though, as Frog going down solo. Deft gets it with a hail of arrows as Sponge finally able to grab one back as well. But now the Vi is out of the fight, and the Cassante is Cassanteing, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect gets another one, and I don't know how DRX didn't get more value from that. Teddy parked themselves in the mid lane. It is going to be solo lanes in the side lanes this time around, as Yahoo going down very, very low. Q's flying forward as BDD is just pyroblasting all over the place. That is going to be sole point. KT, it looks like they're interested in taking it.
Yeah, I think they are grouped around it. Heal burned here from Pleta.
Okay, and a bear on top of Teddy. He does still have Featherstorm, but he doesn't have Cleanse now, as Beryl is going to drive Shelly into that outer turret. It's not going to be going down or anything like that. His feathers are recalled. Frog moving now towards...
Okay, I mean, not going to actually commit just yet. They get Teddy's Cleanse and most of his health bar. He's going to back, but they just want to get the turret here first instead.
All right. Yeah, who needs to be a bit careful, but Spirit Rush is now on cooldown. He finds the charm onto Deft, who just doesn't press Cleanse because no one is close enough.
Yeah, Teddy's not here. And now they're going to be able to turn back to this dragon. That should be a pretty easy clear on the ward. And BDD is just pressing R on people and getting most of their health bar, and that's enough. But in this early game, it's just alone enough, I guess. So far this game, it just has been.
Yep.
BDD in danger.
Yeah, there's a cease and desist as BDD knew that something could be coming, as that is a very dead Vi. Yep, brought him underneath the turret with that preemptive flash. Really nicely done from BDD. And Yahoo, not going to be able to do too much. He does have his ultimate back off cooldown, so that's going to mean he's able to dodge away from the dredge line, but damage has been done 4-1 now in favor of KT. They've also got themselves the Ocean Soul point. Everything is coming up them this time around.
Once again, BD drops a bear,
and
they get an advantage.
어디 있는지.
I can read you like a book.
You basically, I know where you are at all times.
Yeah.
The gist of it, reading them like a book indeed. And so easy. Beryl is just so smart, man.
He just knows, and, you know, maybe he has a bit of added experience alongside some of these guys as well. They've been in a similar organization for some time. It's okay. Yahoo diving on in there. They look for the Annie, and they do manage to take her down, but now Tibbers is extraordinarily angry. Sponge is going to die alongside Yahoo. And yes, you managed to get your one target, but everyone else is still alive, and they will take you out. So it's a rough time. One thing also came to my mind, Wolf, and that is the okay, there is a Feather Storm used by Teddy. Definitely had to. That hook was very, very close. It was almost like he wasn't quite able to get the ulti, but then finally was able to do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, like, I wish you hadn't said that to me, because it's just another reason for me to look at the Cassante champion in a less positive light. Teddy does not have
Oh dear, BDD is going to find him, and there is a depth charge. Pyoshik picks up the kill, and now he's going to possess this Xayah. Yeah, he gets the passive stacked up. That's a max range Chains of Corruption, and then the piercing arrow to go straight through the Braum. Didn't have a door that time. It was torn off the hinges, and KT, I think they're going to march up the mid lane, look to break open the base, and maybe even more.
The super minions are going to guarantee for that next 120 seconds. Beryl.
Oh, Charm going to connect onto Pyoshik, who dashes his way up. Bear comes down, and Teddy gonna have to go up into the sky, but it's not going to be enough to save him. He's going to stay up there as BDD takes him down. The Xayah once again is going to fall. That is the Pyoshik version of it. Maybe not the possession that he really wanted in that instance, because Xayah has been falling quite a lot this series as teleports are coming in, and KT, they want to go home.
Looks like it. I think that's going to be GG Atlas. Fleta holding up the door, but he is going to be pushed right through it into the death chamber, as that's the ace, and that is KT. Clean 1-0 start to the series, we could say, as they win all 3 lanes, and BDD just keeps setting up stuns, just keeps setting up plays. Fantastic game from Beryl as well.
All sorts of these incredibly very strong picks coming back into the meta that BDD is so good at. Definitely bodes well for KT.
And on the other side, they've got range already on the Senna. They're going to add potentially some poke here as BDD.
Oh, this is what I wanted. I was daring to believe that maybe Perfect has got something a little bit more aggressive planned into the Gnar, and there it is, the Camille, one of the oldest of the counter picks into the Gnar. Of course, both of these champions, many iterations. Game number 1, KT, bit of greed, but also a whole host of power. Let's jump onto the Rift for game number 2. DRX, Hanna, du, set.
DRX fighting.
KT roster, Hanna, du, set.
KT roster fighting.
Woohoo! Command protect and then just walk at them.
That's also a cool strat.
It is a fun one, but it's not the high skill version. You do a bit more with the command attack available, especially if you pick your orb up when you are trading.
Atlas is very specific about the things he likes about Orianna.
I am.
Especially if it has something to do with Rage Blades.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
It's from the teleport.
That's perfect. You can see actually getting a fair bit of work done here onto Rascal. But now, I mean, as soon as you start getting chased down, it doesn't really stop as the Boomerang Blade is going to go slightly wide. 24-23. I think that the matchup scoreline actually recently just changed, as here we've got a bit of a change in the bottom lane as well, as Teddy down to 300 health. Pleta now picking up the aggro from the 2 KT members. And remember, there is one side of this that has sustain and one side that doesn't.
Mana sustainability.
Well, Rascal has hit Mega Gnar. Pyoshik going to move on up here as he does manage to get at least the slowdown. Q going to connect as the flash he was trying to predict, and it does not work. As Perfect just looks a little bit silly. Both of them are going to flash though and look for these back timers, so no harm, no foul. Still, probably would have liked to have held on to that one.
The great debate about which one of these scaling picks is better is Sponge unaware that Deft is very nearby.
Yeah, the Q going to land there as Pyoshik also steals away the Gromp. And his pocket center going to be able to get something done as now Perfect. Successful shots. as that is a flash in from Deft. All right, as the shockwave, and Yahoo, I mean, it's brute force, but that is first blood for BDD.
Yep, he doesn't have 2 charges of flash, and Deft is just making that roam, and they are being so successful, and that's why this Camille is so great for this draft. It's not like Perfect is getting kills. It's flat out.
Oh dear, yeah, the wall is going to come on through there, but the snare is going to land as well. Sponge gets amongst it though, as Pleta going down extraordinarily low. Def now finds himself in front of 3 people. Teddy's on fire as a blacksmith is after him, and now Sponge is going to be taken down. It was a fight in so many different parts, and I feel like we missed a lot of the important bits, but Pleta's the last man standing, and Teddy is still there as well.
Doesn't have flash.
Well,
clear.
Is going to get a bit mad. Call of the Forge God up and available though, as the snare is going to go wide. Sponge moves in. He's only level 5, but Pyoshik's half health, and there is a turret. And so,
and he might be way too far up this lane, as there's no vision here. There's vision in the pit, as I think he's realizing.
Well, there is a mom, and now Beryl going to get that knock-up. Remember, Teddy, no flash up and available. That's a great little dash into the wall from Beryl. Gets the knock-up, and oh my goodness. Okay, it's now 4-0 for KT. They'll take some more bubs as well. That could be 6. Never mind. It'll be 5 if they are able to actually get some of these. But instead, Sponge going to grab a couple.
Hope for DRX is maybe they can get something in a perfect here. He has Hextech Ultimate and Flash, though.
That does make it quite difficult, but it is just going to be the wallop landing, and now gets the physical shield as well. Oh, the drill is going to land, and now Perfect tries to get out, but the wind becomes fire, and now BDD. Oh dear, he's running real quickly, looking to try and catch up to them. Does he have another dissonance? No, and he's going to get slowed down by the boomerang
in this one. And if he gets Hextech Ultimatum, he's dead. And that's the end of the fight.
He's not only an ult button though, because he's also a stacking button.
True, I mean, he can stack a little bit.
As Weaver's Wall is going to block Pyoshik, who's now just going to head towards the top lane. Sponge, possibly going to get knocked up, but no, he actually isn't. As Pyoshik was thinking about trying to do a bit of a roundabout maneuver, but that's not going to work. Perfect is going to be able to take down this outer turret on the bottom side of the map though, as the Rift Herald was very distracting.
Yeah, Pyoshik maybe for a steal attempt.
All right, Q going to go completely wide there as we've got a teleport coming in. Beryl wanting to get in on this action as there is a Camille coming down as well. The ramp, oh my god, there was another at some point, but he's gone now.
And they're just continuing to skirmish with the Senna. Fear of Shojin will help him stack a little bit faster as Rascal may be in trouble.
Yeah, another hookshot going to come down there as Perfect just uses it to close the gap. There is the disengage from the Hextech Ultimatum as Seismic Shove is going to miss. And now Sponge thinks he may have found Perfect, but it's actually Teddy that locks him down. Mom gets mad.
+1 stack.
And that is a second kill for DRX, and it's on exactly the right champion. Now, Sponge going in. The Seismic Shove is too good, and instantly they both blow up, and there's the KT we're used to seeing. Deft, that's a creative way of getting out of there, and he will be safe, at least for the moment. As Hook going to connect onto Beryl, and it looks like DRX want to go for Baron. This is going to be the recipe for Game 3 that DRX were looking for. So far, things looking better than the first game as Hextech Ultimatum comes on down. Teleport in from Beryl as well as he joins. They do manage to get the ram over as Perfect is just dead. Beryl's going to have to flash to get himself out of the way as now BDD and Pyoshik in position to try and help out as Teddy. Oh, the 3-man shockwave is gigantic from BDD as they round the corner, but Teddy still at full health. He's sneezing all over them. And KT not going to be able to get rid of DRX that easily still. They managed to take down Pleta and trade for Perfect.
Was very worried for KT that we were going to see another situation that we just saw bottom side come to pass once more.
Oh, okay. Well, Yahoo is taking a lot of damage. Does have to flash to get out of the way. The Sonic Wave is... Oh, wind becomes lightning. That could have almost got Sponge in there, but instead he's going to be flashing to get himself out of the way as that back is not gone. Oh, Teddy is in a little bit of trouble, but so is Deft. BDD, can you actually find it? The clockwork wind-up's not enough! And Teddy is going to be able to walk out of this one. Perfect is now walking the wrong direction as he wants to make sure that he saves his teammates instead of just killing the low-health Smolder. And in fact, he's just not able to do either of those things as Beryl does go down. And Perfect just wants to kill someone, but he's just not going to be able to do anything. So he teleports in to die. Look for too much more. Unless they're going to go for this Baron. So they have started it off. Vision available for KT towards the back of the pit. As Q going to connect there. Rascal taking a fair bit of damage, but he's got Mega Knight coming on in soon. so he needs to be respected. Weaver's Wall comes down, and now Beryl looking for some opportunities. The Shockwave does absolutely nothing, though, as they peel away from the Baron.
Beryl still has ultimate, and they are all stacked up, so they just have to run away. There's no way they can actually fight this anymore. The Narbar has expired.
Def taking some damage as well. BDD, like you say, off to the side, wants a big Shockwave. As there is the Weaver's Wall. The kickback does come on through, but Mom gets angry, and down goes the Lee Sin. That means that the Drake is going to be secured, and the center just explodes, pops like a balloon. Another great Shockwave, but it's too little, and it's definitely too late. Teddy once again limps away from the fight, but he gets everything that he wants. And it's feeling so much more like a 3-game series here. As Perfect is getting thrown around like a ragdoll. Nice little hook shot there, and he decides he wants to opt back into the fight. He's got a GA, and it's really sad that he has to say goodbye to it right here as Pleta moves on in. Rascal, he gets to Mini-Nar, and that means that he can chase him down, even able to utilize his Super Mario Brothers skills as he gets the hop.
Push down these turrets. Here's Yehu's wall.
Yeah, the Weaver's Wall has just been so valuable at locking down these positions. As there's the knockup onto Teddy. The Shockwave comes in. The Zhonya's comes on through, but he's so incredibly low, and there is the kill. So that is so much damage now missing. Q going to connect. There is another knockup from Beryl, who's just taking matters into his own hands. And now the Hextech ultimatum into the backline. Yehu gonna be taken out as well. Beryl, another one. Not gonna quite find the stun there, but Rascal is the only one left alive. And yeah, I guess we doubted KT before, and maybe that gave them superpowers.
And it's gonna be 2 TPs to top to try to push down this inhibitor so they can get double inhibs off the play, especially if Rascal gets stagger death here. He's not gonna be up for a while.
He is kiting pretty impressively at this point in time, as yeah, that Piercing Darkness not quite going to do it. Flapping towards Perfect, this is dangerous. They are looking for the Camille, that's all they really want to lock down, but now he's able to get that flash over. Pleta is going to be able to lock him up. The Drake is secured by Beryl, so there is the Soul, but now they're looking to try and get on top of the Nautilus. It's not exactly the priority target, but that is so much work being done. The GA now going to get procced as Beryl is really actually just trying to win this game by himself. It's not enough though, because the GA comes in and the Zhonya's is going to be there. And now it's just the bottom lane against the world for KT.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough to defend this. Teleport coming through. This is an open inhibitor here, and they have a pretty big wave coming through. Teddy TP's back. Let's see what Beryl can get done.
Bar is just massive.
Deft has GA.
Yeah, not able to quite get a knock up here though, as you can see Rascal just kiting Deft around. The first Nexus turret is going to fall, as now GA going to be procced here, and the Elder Drake that is the Smolder is just burning through Beryl's massive health bar. And Teddy, he's got all of his health completely back. And Sponge, he can tank up the turret for as long as he likes. We're going to 3 games, ladies and gentlemen. DRX even out the series.
Who was the best performing KT player in this game, but it wasn't enough for KT to get back into the game. And you could see right around when the first Rascal absorption of the pressure came in and KT overextended, and the teleport flank, you can see the gold lead just kind of spikes up a few times there, and KT
doesn't still have that much fun in the lane. This one does, and that's the Quinn. Okay, that's what Rascal wants to do, and this is what we were expecting, right? Like,
and it's actually Pleta on the Varus. Now remember, Pleta is a former 80 carry player, so he definitely could end up just playing it and farming here, or it might just be Teddy's playing the way with farming. I don't think that is going to be the case, but it is.
It won't be. I don't think it'll be support Varus.
No, I don't think so either, but
on to the Varus. Let's jump into the Rift here for game number 3. KT roster, Hana, do set.
KT fighting!
DRX, Hana, do set.
DRX fighting!
Whoa!
Trying to get the energy up.
Quite a few times in the past, it was Kane that was really a quintessential Quinn player. That was the wrong use of quintessential. I don't use it all that often, and I decided that I needed to use it now. Really? Really, Atlas? Is that really what you needed to do? I'm not entirely sure.
Teddy is farming.
Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna
support
be,
Varus.
It's the support Varus once again, and this is something that he has given a try before.
And I do appreciate this, given that A little hesitation.
Yeah, Deft is just hopping on over. There is the snare, and it's so beautifully done as well as he picks it up. That is the Rend that's going to lock down first blood as now Beryl and Pleta are fighting. Pleta has some more powerful auto attacks, so Beryl's going to back away, and Beryl going to take control of the lane and shove that one in by the looks.
And the support ends up getting the kill for DRX, whereas the Kalista gets the kill here for KT. And
oh yeah, true. So I saw the Varus got the kill, and I'm like, oh, that is correct. That's the one that's supposed to get it. But no, it's the way that should theoretically be the one.
Yeah, and so the Kalista should actually get a pretty large advantage from this. Does have the refillable pot now, and the longsword picked up as we're just constant action, I guess.
Yeah, BDD is in so much. He's just dead. He's just really, really dead. And now Pyoshik is looking for Sponge, but he knows that Rascal is just here.
Beryl doesn't hit that double root. And Rascal says, I'm going to gank mid. I'm going.
Vaults in, gets the ignite.
Yeah, he's like, this is it. And that was it, in fact, for him. He is having the game of his life.
At least survive.
So the cool thing about the Wei, whether it's support or it's AD carry, is it has insane wave clear, and Teddy's using that well. Sponge has the fast track.
Yeah, that is a flash forward, and the Gaping Maw is fantastic from Teddy. Pleta locks down yet another kill as Beryl just watches on as his Kalista explodes.
Infernal is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Beryl looking for the opportunity here. Pop Blossom that is such a dead Talia. Talia has not been this dead in a really long time. As now Rascal dives forward, and Pyoshik is going to do the same thing. Gonna make sure that they keep the odds in their favor as KT. They just take the kill, and they will move on. I'm not sure. Well now, Perfect is going to find himself a Gnar. Doesn't quite get the stun onto Rascal here, but he's just hitting him and throwing ice cubes around. Rascal is in a lot of trouble. The Hyper Proc going to come on through there. Not enough to get the last bit of the kill as he just mounts up again, and Valor will be able to deliver Rascal to relatives. Another Chains of Corruption does go wide there as Pleta, maybe not with his eye in at this point in time, but does manage to at least land the Q. There is that. As Yahoo not going to find it. The walking tactic used once again.
I hate that walking tactic.
It's so powerful.
Valdez hates it too when champions walk. It denies action.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is the wrong Nico.
Weaver's Wall is very dangerous here for KT. They need to play around it, respect it.
Yeah, and there the Chains of Corruption are finally going to land, but this time Fate's Call is going to respond immediately. You mentioned the Weaver's Wall. That is a single-man ultimate, but maybe it's just going to work out as Beryl locks down that kill. Teddy is flashing away because the power was unleashed.
Very quickly, like a lot of other AD carry supports will do, as Perfect has his bar.
Yeah, he's looking for an opportunity here as the flash out of the way of the Gnar. Now Sponge comes in. Teleport is going to come forward, but I just don't know whether he's going to be here in time. That wallop, though, is going to save him, and now BDD looks for the scatter, doesn't get it because the safeguard gets Sponge away as DRX wanting to try and keep their playoffs hopes alive. As that cute little kick out from Sponge, but he's going to get Gnar into the wall, and now Beryl, he's going to turn up once again. The Gnar looking like he might survive as the Pop Blossom onto 2. Perfect, able to find the Hyper Procs. That flash was amazing to get out of the way of the blind, and now Sponge, he cannot close in on this. Safeguard finally comes in, but there he is with the fadeaway, and it's a double kill for Beryl. Give Perfect the POG, just lock it in right now.
You can't do it. You can't get me.
You can't get him. You can't get him. Well, they weren't even trying to get him to have a look.
Try again.
Oh yeah, and that might just get the Baron. Rascal cannot tank up this turret, even though it is very, very low on its last legs, you could say, is the Ignite ticking down. Are they just not going to kill him and lose Baron?
Yes.
Are they not going to kill him? No,
yes.
No.
I think that might happen. Is Rascal's flying over as fast as Valor can carry him.
Well, the Weaver's Wall is going to break things apart. As you can see, the Baron is going to go down exceptionally. It's stolen! What?
Yahoo gets it done. Rascal is going to die for it.
Yeah, well, he might. Well, we'll just have to see. He's the most important member to have Baron. So getting that kill, really, really huge for KT. But, why?
How?
Yeah, when it had an under-smiteable amount of health.
5
health.
5 health.
Wow.
And yeah, the reaction here is...
The Drake is going to be secured by Pyoshik. That is Cloud Soul now available. As the Wind Becomes Lightning connects onto Teddy. There is the Scat of the Week as well. Wallop doesn't connect, but the Snare, everything max range, and BDD flashes in. He'll be able to eat up the ultimate from Teddy, but yeah.
Part of speech? I don't know.
I beg your pardon?
It's not pronouns.
Proper nouns?
No, I don't know what it is.
All right. Well, that is a dead Rascal.
Rascal's dead.
Rascal is dead. And Rascal is the proper of our first series.
Yeah, and I was also...
All right, Pleta might be dead right now as Pop Blossom onto Teddy. He can't catch a break, can he? It's just really not working out. The bottom lane is eradicated.
I think, Atlas, the question about can they play this way out, where's the front line, where's the tanks? You just need to play around space, and you need to play around Weaver's Wall, and if you lose control for just 1 second, you're doomed as...
And you need to get picks as well as Rascal on that flank angle like you were talking about. Deft is just bouncing around the fight. There is the Ren to lock up the kill, and he survives somehow. Fate's Call comes on in. That's going to make sure that the Nico lives as well, and Yahoo not going to be able to do anything here. Way making his way out of base. Teddy wishing.
You know, Yahoo makes a decision there with Rascal. Maybe they can get him. They cannot. They don't have enough vision. As meanwhile, Pleta.
So Pleta was just found and eliminated. It was purple champions facing off against one another. The one with the bow and arrow, not quite as strong as the one with a million orbs circling them, ignoring gravity.
Oh, was it control word? I thought it was a minion.
No, he was just being a control word. It was like on the minimap, the biggest... Oh, okay, there's a jump scare, but immediately... You can see Pyosik able to get the Crescent Guard out, and that means that he was the one that could actually face check. If you're actually going to put your body in there, you want to be Pyosik in this game, as Scatter the Weak is going to connect onto the very fast Quinn, and she's dead. She's extremely dead. BDD going to go golden immediately afterwards, as Beryl doesn't quite find too much there with the Pop Blossom.
It's 2 flashes, though, on the immobile carries here.
And there's only, the Elder Drake is now up again. The flash forward from Beryl and the dive in. This Syndra is doing way too much damage right now. Or maybe the health bar of the Varus is just far too small. The Hui is going to fit into that boat as well as Sponge looks to try and hold the minion wave.
Clean final game in this series. Sponge alone isn't going to get it done. Rascal's going to come and watch. Yeah, as the Baron buff is still active, and that should be it.
Yeah, Bouncy Castle going to come on through here as Rascal just wants a last hurrah, trying to get a couple of kills if he can, but he's not going to be able to. The Nexus goes down and KT! And Yahoo showing us both sides to the Talia coin as well.
Yeah.
The Talia that doesn't really find too much, and the Talia that was absolutely pivotal.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POG interview translation, joined by BDD and Beryl on the side of KT Roster. Congratulations! Beryl, with the 2-1 victory against DRX, you have achieved your 10th win. How do you feel? So spring season is coming to an end. It was a regretful 2-1 victory, but I'm very happy about the result nonetheless. And BDD, we were worried when we heard about the COVID news, so are you feeling better? I feel uncomfortable when I sleep, but when I play games, it doesn't get in the way of me playing games, so I believe that it'll get just only better from here. And BDD, we saw the Annie pick against Ari twice so far, but Annie lost both times before today. And despite the rumor about Annie being good against Ari, you were the only person who really proved the theory, so how was it like playing this matchup? So there are pros and cons in this matchup, and I think I was able to display pretty good understanding of this matchup. That's why we were able to win. And BDD, with the global Azir ban, we've been seeing more teams come up with alternatives like Talia, Ari, and Annie. But as the Azir Sovereign, are you disappointed in any way? Despite the Azir being banned, I feel like I have a lot of other picks that I can utilize, so I'm not too sad or too disappointed. And in Game 2, the opponent swapped Frog with Rascal, and Perfect locked Camille in against him. Can you explain this pick along with what kind of feedback there was after the defeat? There were macro-wide mistakes, and that's what turned the game around. And I believe we talked about let's just focus on the macro and make sure that we minimize those sort of mistakes. And Beryl, in a 3-game series, you secured a 2-1 victory, and DRX had a peculiar approach to drafts. So with the Hui, Varus bot, and top Quinn, how did it make you feel? So I believe against Nar we saw that top Quinn pick before. So I think with that experience, we told ourselves that as long as we're able to survive and survive through the early game, we would be able to win in the end. And Beryl, what a great performance with Nico. This was your first Nico in this spring, and if she's this good, why didn't you pick her earlier? No, there are a lot of, there's actually a different player, another player in our team who really likes playing Nico, so I just had to give it away to him. And yeah, you said you learned Nico from BDD, so anything that you want to say about that? Yeah, BDD actually shared a lot of really good tips regarding Nico during solo queue, and I feel like I actually learned a lot from him. Even before I taught Beryl anything about Nico, he actually had a really good understanding of Nico. But obviously, I probably have contributed a lot more in the end. Let's take a look at the replay here where you get secure the kills in the bot lane as Nico. And we could just hear your confidence in your voice comm. So did you really read every move? So I knew that Quinn didn't have flash, and this was the timing where Quinn loses to Arnar. So that's why I was able to sort of read the situation, and then that's why I was heading bot, and that just went to our plan. And BDD, with the Game 3 victory, you have achieved 400 wins. Congratulations! So you have earned your 700 LCK games with the last match. How do you feel? I actually wasn't aware of these, but with these achievements, it just makes me realize that I have been in the scene for a long time and I want to continue being so successful in my journey. And you must continue your momentum all the way to the playoffs, with only 2 matches remaining against Hana Life Esports and Kwangdong Freaks. What will you focus on? BDD? I don't think there will be any big changes in the rankings. So I believe that we just have to reach our ceiling until the playoffs. And Beryl? Just like what BDD said, I don't think there'll be any changes in the standings. So we just have to focus on our plays. So next week we get to see our fans at Lowell Park. You know, it's been very boring and it's been so quiet without the fans in the scene. So I'm really looking forward to the fans being back on the scene. And this will be the end of the interview with BDD and Beryl of KT Rollster, and back to the space.